Thank you so very much, Mr. Mashood, for your warm words. Ladies and gentlemen, moving ahead, now it gives me immense pleasure to introduce you all to a distinguished leader who is present amongst us today and who has played a pivotal role in uniting and uplifting our community. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure and it is my absolute honor to invite on stage the Deputy Chief of Mission and the Chief Coordinating Officer for Indian Business Professional Council, Shri Sandeep Kumar. With a huge round of applause, please help me welcome him as he joins us on stage to deliver the inaugural address.
Thank you, Taji. Good evening, everyone. Namaskar. Salam alaikum. Let me begin by thanking each one of you for inviting me here on behalf of the Embassy of India, on behalf of our ambassador, and on my own behalf. Thanks to the team who's been coordinating this event. Masoodji, the coordinator for the Rise Above 2025, Taha Sahab, President IBPC, all the guests present here, especially our Qatari guests from QDV and from Maroon Holdings. Welcome, a very, very warm welcome to both of you. Rajesh Menon Sahab, they have already spoken about you. We all take pride in you being there on the board of 2 Qatar Stock Exchange listed companies. So got to know it today, and we all, equally feel proud, and we all look forward to you putting in more, contributing more to this bilateral exchanges, the value that we have been creating with our hosts for decades together now. Thank you, Ajay ji, Gopal ji, Mr. Bari ji, Mr. Bari from, I will not remember the name of the company, but a warm welcome to you too. Thank you all for being here today. I'll briefly touch upon what has happened in this very eventful month and over the past year in general. So this month of February has been a very, very engaging month for us, for the entire Indian community in general, and the embassy, the governments in particular. So we have had a very, very successful, productive visit of His Highness, the Amir of the State of Qatar to India on 17th and 18th of this month. While we were preparing for the event, for this visit of this VVIP visit, a lot of efforts, a lot of things has happened in the background. We have been able to establish and call the first meeting of the Joint Business Council of India and Qatar. That was on 13th of February. So following that, we also had many engagements. We also were able to call the joint working group meeting on energy between the two sides, which was on the 17th. On the sidelines of the visit, we had a joint business forum, which was represented by the top business leaders from both the sides. I must say that the engagement, the positiveness in these engagements was immense. There was lots of positivity from both the sides. There was a very palpable, willingness to come together, to grow together, and to contribute to each other's success, to create value for each other, to take each other along in the journey to betterment, in the journey to growth and development. It's not just the development or growth of businesses, because businesses and investments, they always have a purpose. There is no business or investment without a purpose. They finally accumulate. They accumulate to the growth of societies, peoples, and it's a well-being, a general well-being of both the sides in entirety. So businesses are not something working in silos or something which is not touched upon by or does not affect other paradigms. It's a cross-cutting, a wide spectrum, wide event that has happened. So during this visit, a lot of good things have come up. I'm very, very happy to share with you all that India and Qatar have signed an agreement to elevate the partnership to strategic partnership. we had the bilateral relations have now been elevated to strategic partnership. So many of you would have a question in your mind, what would that mean? How is it different from what we have now? So it's actually an intent. It's a very strong intent from both the sides, which has been formalized, that we will be engaging in all the fronts, all the sectors, all the areas of our bilateral relationship, and we'll take it a notch up, a two-step up, or few levels up. So that's a very big thing that has happened during this visit. Overall, while the visit had, it was a long due visit. It was after 10 years. Our Prime Minister had visited last year, which was a very important, again, a very, very productive visit in February 2024. And this visit has given a further momentum in the very, very right direction. So we have been looking up to this visit for some time, and I'm very, very happy to share with you all that we come out very, very satisfied and very, very happy out of this visit. We have had a lot of engagement in the fields of commerce, trade, investments. Some of the highlights, as you all would be knowing by now, that the government of Qatar has committed or has expressed its commitment, expressed its intent to invest around $10 billion in the Indian markets. Apart from that, we have raised the level of the joint working group on trade and commerce to the joint commission level, meaning that these interactions will now be led at the level of commerce ministers from both the sides. The engagement, the bilateral trade and commerce engagement is not just limited to few institutional mechanisms. It has been a very, very broad-based kind of an approach which both the sides have been working on for long. And the results have now been showing up. In this visit itself, like QNB, our friend is here, Ajayji. QNB has decided and it has been approved. They will be opening up they will be opening an office in Gift City in Gujarat. Similarly, yeah, congrats to QNB and to our side. UPI is being operationalized. It has undergone the test phases and everything is completed. So UPI will now be accepted for now on QNB terminals, and I think in the days to come, months to come, it will be broad-based to cover other terminals. So NIPL, the National Payments Corporation of India, their international wing, it's called NIPL, they are in touch with other financial institutions in Qatar as we speak now, and we hope that this gets more and more broad-based as soon as possible. Apart from this, there have been many other engagements. On the front of, we had a very, very engaging discussions when we had a delegation. We have had joint task force on investment. We have had joint working group on trade and commerce. We have had many other such bilateral mechanisms where we have discussed the entire plethora of our economic and commerce-related engagements. And all of these have been bearing fruits. They have all been taken up in a very, very positive manner from both the sides. And both the sides have, at the cost of repeating myself, I again am stressing that both the sides have shown very, very positive intent to further take this journey, our trade and commerce relationship to the next level, to a greater height. In this context, both the sides have also expressed, or they have shown a great deal, or a very, very, I would say, very reasonable interest in discussing a free trade agreement between our two countries. So that is on the cards. We are also, discussing, or we have an intent to discuss in greater detail a bilateral investment treaty as well. So these things will all help the businesses grow. So as the government, on the part of the government, both the sides have been working hard to build the platform to give an enabling environment, an ecosystem on which the entire businesses from both the sides could thrive, could grow. So as an enabler of trade and commerce, both the sides have been diligently working upon the tasks bestowed upon the two sides by their leadership, and both have been working well on these areas. From the visit itself, there are many more takeaways, but I know most of you would be knowing, and everyone can go and see what all has happened. So it now comes on the business communities, on the businesses. Most of you present here would know very well that it's a time, it's an opportunity, because both the sides have also expressed the intent to double the trade, the bilateral trade, by 2030, which stands at around a little over $14 billion now. So it's a big ask, but I think and we believe that with synergies built together, with very, very active support from our hosts, from our friends, from the Qatari industry, there is a great deal of both enthusiasm, scope, and I would say intent, and we are on a very positive trajectory, a very, very positive ground, a very fertile ground to take these engagements and see that our bilateral trade and commerce grows to, to greater heights. Apart from this, I would also like to, since the theme of Rise Above 2025 is business opportunities and challenges in doing business in Qatar. Challenges are always associated with business. What business you do, small or big, challenges are bound to be there. Challenges make you think, challenges make you grow, challenges help you find yourself, help you find your confidence. So they will always be there, but we should be focusing more on the opportunities that Qatar has to offer. We all know under the National Vision 2030, Qatar has, it's a very, very positive, a very, very strong statement of the intent that the Qatari government is working with. It's to diversify the economic activities in the country, to focus more on technology, to focus more on innovation, to use the new and emerging technologies for the purpose of benefit, for the purpose of growth, for the purpose of improvement of societies, of business ecosystem, of businesses, small, big, very small, everyone alike. So these opportunities are in store for businesses from all over the world. I would especially refer here to the businesses from India, the businesses led by the Indian community members. It's a time, it's an opportune time. We have opportunities. There has been expansion in the market. Although after the World Cup, there had been some indications of some slowdown, but I think the markets are improving, it's growing, it's getting back to what we all would like it to be. And since if we take any area, there are lots of congruities where both the sides could build upon the comparative or relative advantages, competencies of both the sides. For example, healthcare. India can be a very, very strong partner of Qatari businesses, of Qatari landscape in the healthcare sector. Like pharma, we are called the pharmacy of the world. There is reason behind that. We produce a lot of vaccines, we produce a lot of pharmaceuticals, lots of APIs, and lots of medical equipment, pharma products. And I see there is a big scope where both the sides could collaborate, could make use of competencies of each other. I see Qatar is focusing on precision medicine. We are also doing a lot of work back home using AI in healthcare. I think there are places where both could converge. There are common meeting points. There needs to be some common meeting thoughts and minds coming together. So it's these kind of events where we can explore such opportunities. I would strongly urge, I would strongly encourage all of you to think on those lines where we can help each other, where we can not just help for the sake of helping, but also for building beneficial equations, mutually beneficial business opportunities, mutually beneficial business, how do I say, equations. So we both the sides, I would request all of you to look into these opportunities. Similarly, in the field of education, in the field of hospitality and tourism, there's a lot of scope. I see we have not built a lots of packages for Qatari tourists or other expatriate community living in here to go in India and explore. There are lots of things that we could do. The Indian community, the expatriate community from India alone is a big number here. So all these are advantages. These are some strong points that we have with us already. We don't need to invent them from a scratch. So I would just request all of you again to think on these lines. How could we leverage what is existing to build more meaningful business propositions, to build more meaningful collaborations, and to work together to create a better profitability for the business ventures that we are all in. So not taking much of your time, I would like to thank you all again for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts with you. And I thank you all once again and wish you all a very, very successful and happy conference ahead. Thank you.